Okay, so story time here. When I was getting started with bluebirds, one of the first things you kind of start hearing about is the competition. House sparrows are a problem, but another problem that you start seeing, especially on social media, is wrens. And when I first started, I didn't know that there were like many different species of wrens. I just heard that wrens go into the bluebird boxes, punch out the eggs, throw them out, and then build their own nest. Well, I thought this was all wrens. So as I got this little Carolina wren coming to visit my yard, I'm like, oh my gosh, you're not a nice little bird. You can come and eat the mealworms, but you're not a nice little bird. Well, I come to find out that house wrens, Carolina wrens, cactus wrens, canyon wrens, there's so many different types of wrens out there. So in this episode, we're talking about Carolina wrens and whether they're a threat to bluebirds and how to identify them and a little bit more too. As you're learning about bluebirds and the competition and the dangers that come their way, you are starting to find out about wrens and the issues that come up with bluebirds. There are different species of wrens out there. And the ones that we really want to pay attention to when it comes to bluebirding is the house wren, not the Carolina wren. The reason house wrens are a problem for bluebirds is because they are the ones that go in, they toss out eggs, they toss out young chicks, and then they build their nest. And often it's the male doing this. And what he'll do is he'll go from nest box to nest box or birdhouse to birdhouse, and he'll build a few dummy nests, then bring the female around and go, hey, which one do you like? And then she'll pick the nest. So this is why it's kind of prevalent, because what happens is they run out of space. It's not like they go, oh, here's an empty box, let me build a nest and then be done with it and bring my wife around. They go different places and build those dummy nests, and so they have kind of become infamous. I do want to point out that these wrens that I'm talking about are native to North America, and that means they also have an ecological role, which helps kind of balance the whole system. So while we talk about house sparrows, different bird, house sparrows, becoming a problem in North America, the house sparrow does not have an ecological role here. We do need to protect our native birds because, one, they're federally protected. I guess, well, legally it matters, but also from a conservation standpoint, they help keep the balance as long as everything's in check and all that. So anyway, so the house wren has become infamous in the United States, and especially when it comes to bluebirders. I do have a few other videos on like preventing house wren invasion and building a wren guard and things like that, so definitely check those out. The point is, that's the wren that you want to watch out for. The Carolina wren is a whole different bird, and it can be pretty curious. It's a really curious bird. This bird has actually really won my heart. The robin, believe it or not, the robin is actually my favorite bird, but the Carolina wren might be like number 2. That guy, so curious, so bold, so strong, so interesting. I don't know, you gotta watch them. They are really fun to watch. So I was so happy because I think the thing is I really wanted to like these birds. And I don't want to say that I don't like house wrens. I just, you know, they're just really like low on my list of birds. But there was something about the personality of a Carolina wren that I just really enjoyed. What will happen is you may sometimes see a Carolina wren going into your nest box, and that's going to make you worried. Just know that they're not a primary nest box competitor. Any bird that is a cavity nester will compete with other birds. That will happen. Even chickadees will sometimes throw out eggs. But like with the house wren, the reason this is more problematic is the whole dummy nest concept. So because they're building in so many different spaces, they end up having to steal other people's nests. So that's the problem there. Carolina wrens are just curious. They like to explore different nooks and crannies, and so they'll sometimes go into a bluebird box. On occasion, they'll actually build a nest in a bluebird box, and I would say, you know, definitely welcome that. If you're, well, even if they stole it from the bluebirds, they are native. Once they get that nest going and have an egg in, you know, you got to let them nest. But they're not really infamous for doing that, and if they do beat your bluebirds to that nest box, enjoy it, because they are such a cool bird. You can always put up another nest box and you'll be problem free there. The cool thing about Carolina wrens is they aren't cavity nesters, but then they are cavity nesters. So these guys are known for nesting all over the place. They will, if you leave your garage window open, they'll find a little nook in there to nest. They will find an old boot and nest. I think somebody had a picture of a hoodie. They had a hoodie left out maybe all winter long. It went into spring, and they actually built a nest in the hood of the hoodie. They're known for building nests in the most random places. But on occasion, yeah, they'll go into a bluebird box. There are actually plans out there for Carolina Wren, like nest boxes. They're almost like a modified slot box. Let's talk about differentiating the Carolina Wren with the house wren, because sometimes little brown birds kind of all look very similar, especially when you're getting started. The Carolina Wren has a defined, like a really well-defined white, or, well, we wouldn't call it white, kind of a yellowy, light-colored eye stripe. Whereas the house wren has a more muted, I wouldn't even say much of an eye stripe. It's not as defined as the Carolina Wren. The other big thing is just the vibrance of a Carolina Wren. The Carolina Wren is more of a reddish brown. The colors just, well, compared to a house wren, the colors yell out more. They're a much more saturated, brighter, deeper, vibrant bird, whereas the house wren is very muted. Both are monomorphic, sexually monomorphic, which means both of male and females look the same, so you can't tell male and females apart. So that kind of stinks. The other big thing, but it's hard to tell when you're getting started, but the size. So the Carolina Wren is a little bit bigger than the house wren. And then of course their song is different. And if I have an audio clip, I will play the difference for you. To summarize, no, they're not a threat, which is great. If you are really getting into bluebirds and you're wanting to learn more, I would actually really encourage you to join your state Bluebird Society, or sometimes not every state has a Bluebird Society, but they'll have like regional chapters. But definitely look into that as an option, and don't just join. See if you can get involved in different ways. Maybe you can collaborate with a nest box monitor and get on a trail, because that can be really cool and you'll learn so much that way. The North American Bluebird Society is another great place for resources. And then of course, the Nest Hollow channel has a whole playlist on taking care of bluebirds. You will find so much information. And then the last thing I'm going to plug, because I put a lot of work into this, is this informational coloring book that I put together. This is definitely geared more towards adults, but you can work with kids. And the idea behind it is it's not just a book that sits on your shelf. This is a book where you could open it up, enjoy coloring, because adults are really liking that nowadays. And then you can also learn a little bit about bluebirds, and each coloring illustration is based on a topic of bluebird care. So definitely check that out.